about Rochdale, the Vanarama National League. I know, I've got a rant prepared. So yeah, but anything could happen. We could even get cancelled if it's... I'll save that till last, though. We'll try and get as much as the show done. But before, obviously, I speak to my wonderful team tonight, I just wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And I hope you all had a really very Merry Christmas. And yeah, that's everything, I think, for the intro so far. And we've got Simon in the chat as well. Hello, Simon, and hello, everybody else who is joining us. Nick, how are you and how was your Christmas?
Christmas was mixed. Disaster Christmas Day, went out for a meal and it wasn't good, but hey ho, it happens. But we went to visit my new grandson Christmas Day afternoon, which was a real pleasure. So he's a little poppet, so that made up for the day.
I love that.
And it's got your name, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's also mine and Alice's father-in-law, because we're both Nicks. So it was an easy decision for Alice to call him Nicholas as his middle name without upsetting anybody.
Yeah.
So it worked quite well.
Look who we've got in the chat, our very own Anne, who was meant to join us tonight, but unfortunately he's poorly. So I hope you are feeling better really soon. I can't get my words out. You can tell I've not been on in a while. And we have got Aled as well.
Hello.
Claire, how are you? How was your Christmas?
Yeah, it was good, thank you. I had the little one running rings round us. She had the best day. Like, she just didn't stop smiling and laughing. So I think I've experienced a new kind of special Christmas. So yeah, probably the best one yet. And she woke up about 20 minutes before midnight on New Year's Eve, randomly. So I could see in the new year cuddling my little girl. So yeah,
I love that.
That was a bit perfect. But yeah, all good. Back at work now, obviously. How are you?
I know. Yeah, I'm really, really good, thank you. I've had a bit of a blip at the start of the week, because obviously there's a lot of things going on at Rochdale at the minute, which isn't too pleasant. And yeah, just a bit... I think it's a January blues. I think everyone has it, don't they? Because it's so like overwhelming, Christmas and New Year. Yeah. And I just think it's a January blues. So we have signed someone today, though, so I'm a bit more positive about it. But I will get onto that later. I won't spend my intro talking about Rochdale yet. In the chat as well, we have Mr. Luke. Hello, everyone. Currently sobbing after one of our loan players, that was one of the better players, has been recalled. You can understand as well, can't you, Nick?
They've just lost Billy Chadwick as well.
Well, only one loan player. We've lost two loan players who contributed 29 goals out of the 47 we scored, plus a load of assists. So you got nothing to cry about. We're mega. We knew it was going to happen. I guess that's the only thing. So don't fall in love with a loan player, as they say. Don't sign loan players. Sign your own bloody players.
Exactly. We have got Chris in the chat as well. Happy New Year to everyone. Crazy Christmas time if you were a manager in the Northeast, Darlington, Blythe, South Shields and Spennymoor. I saw that. There's been a lot of managerial changes all around, which we will get onto later as well, especially in the Championship. Mr. Wayne Rooney. But we'll talk about that later. Mr. Luke, and get well soon. And we have got Adam in the chat. Happy New Year. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas. I ate too much turkey and chocolate. I can understand that. And I think that's why I'm miserable as well, because now I ate so much chocolate and I'm back on my diet for my sister's wedding. So I think that's why I'm miserable.
I'll be your diet plan now. Diet pal, because I'm doing my calorie counting now as well.
Same. Let's do it together. Everyone in the chat as well saying get well soon. And bless him. He has got the dreaded COVID. Aled as well. Get well soon. And yeah. Mr. Luke. The dreaded COVID. Bless him.
I'm only laughing because I made a bit of a mistake. And can we tell everyone?
Oh yeah, we'll start that now. Actually, before we get on to the actual results, Claire, you talk about your mistake.
I want to know if it's all right with me saying it first, because it could be a potentially like.
It's not going to be the end of a wonderful friendship, is it?
I mean, I know he
group
found
chat.
it funny, but it's whether he's all right with me sharing it. So,
Why I?
Why I?
so Ant posted a picture of his COVID test in our group chat, and I put, "Congratulations! When's she due?" Thinking it was a pregnancy test.
I honestly, I spat my drink out. It went everywhere. It was
Why
so
me?
funny. I looked and I just, when you just have one of them moments and you just went everywhere. It did. It was so funny. But we are not the most sympathetic bunch either. Poor Ant is there saying how poorly he is, and we're laughing about that, aren't we? Taking a mick. We do love him, really, though. We do love him. He has actually put, "It was nearly the end of a wonderful friendship today when Claire laughed about those bloody signs." He's
Do you know
more annoyed
what?
at that.
Do you know what? I actually kept laughing, and so that I didn't go on about how funny I found it in the group chat, I actually messaged Nick and Charlotte separately, and I was like, I can't stop laughing. But the more I think about it, the more atrocious it is, and it's not good, and I am no longer finding it funny.
She's really.
No.
I'm not.
I think it's just like, it'd just be like Stockport County putting up like something to do with Manchester City or Rochdale putting some up for Oldham. Like, it just wouldn't happen. So
It would be like Swindon painting their stand yellow and blue.
well, yeah. And it just shows how out of touch owners can be with like fans these days and the people that are running the clubs, because that should have never, ever, ever been okayed.
They don't understand the history, do they? That's the problem.
Look who we've got in a chat as well. Our good friend, Fifey.
Fifey, that's been very formal.
I know.
I mean, I've just been called a lady for the first time this year, so I'll take it.
I've just been called a lady for the first time in my life. It's going well. I'm liking 2024 already.
2024 is going to be good.
New year, new us. We're still as crazy as ever, though. But yeah, let's talk about some football. And please send us your thoughts as well on the game. Sunderland 2, Preston 0. Nick, any standout results for you here?
I think actually probably Swansea beating West Brom is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Because West Brom have been going pretty well. It looked like a cracking game. Plymouth and Watford, 3 each. And the team that are probably the biggest surprise in there, and it messed up my accumulator, was Coventry winning at Middlesbrough. That's a cracking result for Cov. And I think we'll look at the league tables in a minute, but I think they're on a bit of an up.
They've climbed.
Yeah, I think they're definitely on the way up, and they're doing quite well.
They've climbed. Just before as well, we can move on. Fifey's put, Nick told me 2024 I have to be positive and nice. That's why he called us ladies, Claire.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. My good lady called me that I've become a bit of a moaning, miserable git. So I'm going to change and be positive. Although at the moment, football-wise, that is very difficult.
Just join me in the positive corner, Nick. You know I'm always positive.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on your results, and that'll help me, because I do like.
But he won't.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I know. I think we will. For me, Sheffield Wednesday. I know they're on a run, but I think the fact that they've managed a 3-1 win against Hull, who have been pretty good recently, is a massive result. And obviously, I'm sorry, I know he wants to skirt past it, but Leicester's win was good. But I'll do it for Ant. We don't talk about 0-0s, but Ipswich are a few games without a win now. So I don't think they're going to slip down the table. But we'll see, because there's people are joining them very quickly.
Definitely. I think as well, the thing with Ipswich is there's a lot of teams around them, isn't there, that are climbing up, especially Leeds. I think Leeds are on a very good run at the minute. But yeah, my standout result as well, before I read out the Sunderland game. I think, to be fair, it's a good win away from home for Millwall.
Yeah.
Because obviously
it
they're
is.
a bit hit and miss, aren't they, Millwall, at the minute? So I think that's a very good win for them. On to Ant's commentary as well about the game. Analysis, sorry, not commentary. Preston game, we played well first half. Brilliant goal from Pritchard. And is it Russin? Getting his first goal for the club after a wonderful from Jack Clark. Second half was a non-event.
After a wonderful.
I know.
A wonderful pass. It must be a wonderful
I would
pass.
think.
Yeah.
We'll forgive him. He's not well.
I know. Anta said as well, I did say to watch out for Coventry. I've said this as well. And I've said the same about Colchester, which we will talk about. I feel like with them, they have I know, sorry. They have a very good, second half of the season.
Yeah, because they've got a good manager as well, haven't they?
They have. But we will get onto that later. I won't spoil it. In the chat as well, we have got Ends. What's up, beautiful people? Thank you for that. He's put like, comment, and subscribe as well. Thank you so much. And yeah, he's put wonderful run. Sorry, that's what I meant, Ant.
Oh.
And Ant thinks that Southampton will be Ipswich. And Simon has put, with all the new additions, we just needed time to gel on. If you want to send us your thoughts about the Coventry game as well, please feel free. We've got Wolsey in the chat saying, hi, guys. Nice of you to join us. Thank you very much. And we have got Chris saying, January window is open now. It's always been open for us, though. Always been open.
Hallelujah. We've been desperately waiting for this. Desperate.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? January. It's obviously different for us now in the National League, but it was always one of them where, with Rochdale in particular, it was always a good month to kind of get the bodies in. But with us being one of them seller clubs and we had to sell players, it was always like, oh no, which one's going next?
Yeah. I think someone actually said the other day, and how bad is this, by the way? We've got that many players out injured that if we put a goalkeeper in, then we'd have 11. We've literally got 10 first team players out injured. There's a couple of season longs. There's a couple that are out. Ethan Pye's just got injured as well, which is devastating because he's so good. But I know a lot of teams are struggling, but we're really, really in the mud. So yeah, January couldn't have come quick enough.
Mr. Luke in the chat is obviously talking about January. He's put, so far this January window for us being I cannot say it on here.
Do you think you're going to miss
one?
Yeah, I wonder if you're going to miss Billy Chadwick.
I reckon they will.
That's to Mr. Luke. Yeah, it's I'll speak about it in a bit, but it's just been a bit of a weird signing for us.
I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. Thank you so much for all the interaction, guys. Chris has put, at least you didn't lose your manager at Christmas, Mr. Luke. Has put not pie. And then Anne has put, stick your reverse keeper up top, Clare. Works for, is it, I can't even say that name.
Arbroath. It's just not spelt it right. That's your issue.
That's why I was like.
Did you see the goal he scored?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and he was on one of the podcasts yesterday, I think it was, chatting. He's a bit of a character, and he said, because they said, "Well, did you mean to do that?" He said, "Yeah, of course I meant to do it." He said it was a controlled turn swivel hit, no problem.
It did look like he'd done it on purpose.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question about the comments? Chris, what's happened to your manager? Jason Ainsworth, is it?
Who's that for?
Is he left? Spennymoor?
Oh,
yeah, I'm sure. Know. I don't know what's happened. I'm sure he's gone.
Bloody hell, he's been there forever.
Yeah.
Wow. There's been a few management changes, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it looks like Williams gone to Swansea from Notts County.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity
I just hope they can make that step up. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because we see it, don't we, quite often, where obviously they take the step up. It happened with Keith Hill as well, when obviously Barnsley with us and other managers. I just hope he gets the chance and he does get the time, because I think he's a really good manager.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
Very.
Sometimes big risks comes with big rewards. That's what I was meant to say. So I hope it works out for them.
Should we talk about the Wayne Rooney saga as well?
What a shocking whole saga that's been. Like, we've said it since he was appointed.
Yeah.
What a stupid appointment. They were sat in such a good position, to sack the manager that they had that was doing a good job is just appalling. And yet again, it's showing what we've said for ages, that being a world-class footballer doesn't make you a world-class manager. It doesn't even make you a good manager.
Even in that league, though, because he's not even got any experience in that league as well.
I know.
I don't know. He did well at Derby, didn't he, when they were in big trouble?
Yeah.
But I think it reflects more on the owners, because they should, having made that appointment and said what they said at the time, that it was a project and he needs a time to get his style of play in. Once they've said that, surely they've got to allow him the season to do it, and especially with a transfer window coming up, he would have a chance to bring his own players in. All right, it hasn't been great, but they should have stuck with him. Yeah. Absolutely, for me, 100%, they should have stuck with him.
Did you see that clip that was going around of his son doing a voice note on Instagram?
No. I saw that.
Ridiculous. He had all these signings lined up. Oh God, why is my alarm going off?
So I did read apparently that he had a bit of a bust up with one of the, don't know whether it was the owner or the CEO down on the training pitch.
I saw that.
So whether that was what decided it in the end, because there was a big disagreement. So
I like that name. Rosenor.
Rosenor. Rosens. What was it, Claire? Come on, you do it.
Have you seen in the chat as well? Enza said, "What's the alarm for? I'm intrigued."
To be quite honest, I think I've set it for PM instead of AM. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but this is me on my tangents, right? Basically, my alarms. Where are they? This is the state of my alarms. I've got about 100 different times on it because I struggle like mad to get up. So
my sister's like that.
I have to literally set 10 alarms between 7:15 and 7:15 to get up at 7:15. And sometimes I still oversleep and Sam has to wake me up.
That's terrible.
Everyone's judging you, Claire. Why so many? Wow, Claire.
Right. I think it's because I'm a very, very, very bad sleeper. So, for example, last night, I was still awake at 2:30 in the morning and my little one woke up at 5. So, by the time it gets to 7:15 and getting up for bed, I'm just too tired to get up. I have about 4 hours a night.
I feel that. I'm a really bad sleeper as well. Really bad sleeper. Right, going back to the chat. Chris has said, did you see the chat before about the manager, or do you want me to go back to the comments?
Yeah, I saw it. And I didn't even know that Jason Ainsley had been, wasn't the manager anymore. I obviously will need to. I don't know whether I want to reignite my Conference North knowledge. I'm still crying about our years there.
Just on the Wayne Rooney talk as well, Simon has put Tom Brady is on the board at Birmingham apparently, and told him and him and Rooney are friends, which is why he got the job supposedly. Yeah, I heard that as well. They are friends.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, very strange appointment. But It's one of them, isn't it? Who do we think will get it next? Another big name? Another one of his friends?
Eustace.
I was going to say, because I don't think he has a club, does he, at the minute?
No, they can't do that though. That is, I mean, I think they should look at doing it, but I think it'd just be too embarrassing for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Joe, I saw that was linked with it. Frank Lampard. I don't know how true it is.
Oh yeah,
but
that's
that
been
is
doing the rounds, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a crazy.
If they were to recruit him, then they deserve to go down the
you're right.
Muppets.
Again, someone else who was a really, really good player but hasn't cut it as a manager.
Tony Mowbray and is saying,
do it in Ant's accent.
Mowbray would be a good signing.
Tony Mowbray.
Love
you, Anne.
And in the chat as well, we are still chatting about alarms. I have about 3 in the morning, 1 to wake me up, 2nd to get out of bed, and 3rd saying, really get out of bed. I do that as well. I do that.
I think I should get an alarm where it's not near your bed. So
get it so you have to get out of bed to switch it off.
Yeah.
Not
12 hours. I know. I wish I got 12 hours.
12 hours?
I know. All right, for some, eh?
That's about what Daisy normally gets, and even half of that I'd be happy with.
Oh, funny. Moving on anyway, we will look at the league table. So we have at the top Leicester in first, obviously, on 65 points. Ipswich are still in second, despite them obviously dropping some point as of late. They have 55 points. The playoffs are in third. Southampton with 52 points. Leeds are in fourth on 48 points. West Brom are fifth on 42 points. And Sunderland sixth on 40 points. And then in a relegation, we have Sheffield Wednesday in 22nd on 22 points. QPR are 23rd on 21 points. And then rock bottom of the league, we have Rotherham on 18 points. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday have climbed up. I know they're still in relegation, but they're not that far off, to be fair.
No, they're in great form, but I suppose that they could, if they win a few more, then they've got a chance of staying up, which no one thought they would. Obviously, it's like halfway through the season, well, more than halfway through the season now, so it's kind of the time to do it, I suppose. But look at bloody Leicester's gap at the top, 10 points.
I know. Mental, isn't it? And to be fair, I think at the start of the season we all said, and I think on our preview show as well, where it was me, Sam, Ant and Scoops, I think we thought that Leicester would do well and do similar to like Burnley last season, run away with it.
Certainly not unexpected. I just didn't think at this point that they'd have a 10-point gap. Yeah.
Did they actually get any new players as well in obviously January?
Yeah, but look at where Preston have dropped to after that brilliant start. They might need to start worrying, because it's at the beginning of the season they were picking up the most of their points. Now I know they get the odd win, but I mean, they don't get that many now, do they?
No, I think we failed to mention as well, because I think it happened during Christmas, and obviously while we were off air, didn't Schumacher leave Plymouth and has he gone Stoke? Was it Stoke?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Plymouth now as well, because they were struggling, and as you can see, they're 18th, aren't they? Very close still to the drop. There's a lot of teams, but
I think that's a big loss for Plymouth.
Massive loss. And then obviously, as we mentioned before, we have got Coventry. I mean, a few weeks ago we were talking about them, and they were second half of the table, weren't they? And look at them and how they've climbed now.
Yeah.
Just outside the playoffs in 8th.
It's still very close around those, obviously, like you look to 14th and it is only 5 points after the playoffs. So it's all to play for, really. Probably guess in another 10 games you'd probably be more of a gap, you'd think.
Definitely as well. And like we mentioned as well with the January transfer window, business, who's going to lose players, who's obviously going to gain new bodies and stuff as well. So, yeah, definitely Very interesting, isn't it, the Championship?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Aled as well. Huddersfield fans looking down. My Huddersfield supporting fan predicted Terriers getting relegated and Wrexham promoted before the season started. I've heard rumours as well that they're interested in recalling back Jordan Rhodes from his loan at Blackpool, because I know he's been scoring a few goals. So who knows?
They probably should do, shouldn't they?
Yeah. I just think with Jordan Rhodes now, do you reckon he could cut it again in the Championship? Because I know obviously he got the odd goal here and there, but he seems to be smashing it in League One.
Maybe they need to risk it, because if they're struggling and they've got someone that is...
Charlotte, is my mic working okay?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. What's that, Nick?
I told you you're too naughty.
I know.
Oh, man. I had a cough then. I do apologise if I keep going on mute. I keep either sneezing or getting a cough. I think I'm catching it from you all.
Yeah. Sorry, Sean.
Catching it through the screen, don't you worry. And obviously, moving on now, we will have a look at League One. Claire, standout result for you?
Carlisle. Carlisle, because obviously bottom of the table, struggling really to get points. And Reading, what a brilliant win for Reading. I know that Exeter are not in good form, but with everything that's going on at Reading, I just love seeing them get points, because those fans have been through such a horrible time. They really, really deserve to have the positive. So I just hope that the players can keep grinding out results, because I know that it's really difficult and they can't exactly go out and, bolster the squad because of everything that's going on. So I just hope that, I just hope that they start turning a corner a bit. Those fans deserve something to smile about.
100% agree. And we've got Wolsey in the chat as well, who is a Reading fan, and he has put, "We are turning such a big corner. 1 defeat in 11 league games for us is ridiculous, especially with everything going on." That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I just want to ask as well, Wolsey, is Jarell Dorset still at Reading? Because he was on loan at us a couple of seasons ago. And do you know, like the bigger teams obviously send the players out to go on loan. And from when he first came to Rochdale at the start of the season to when the end of the season, he was brilliant. So I'm just really intrigued to know whether he's still there, because I just want to follow his story a bit, because he was such a good player.
Yeah, he is. I just looked at their team.
Oh, is it? Oh, brilliant. Yeah. He was one of my favourites in that season. Nick, any standout results for you?
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, and it does pain me, but Oxford United was a good win at Charlton.
Yeah.
Keep them up near the top. And one you'll be pleased with, and Ant will be pleased with, was Shrewsbury beating Fleetwood 3-1. So
yes.
I'm sure you'll be very happy about that. And obviously, Ant is Shrewsbury's his team in that league. So that's probably the two standouts. And I guess Derby, Peterborough, they're probably fairly even. So, but it's still a good away win, Peterborough.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. There as well. Portsmouth, Stevenage, because on paper, obviously, looks like a good game. Stevenage are doing well, and I think we've dropped off a little bit, haven't they, the last couple of games? I don't think it's massively.
No, Matt Farley. You have to give him full name. Matt Farley. He put. I saw him on his socials say that they were really, really unlucky not to get a point.
Do you reckon Portsmouth are winning it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you, Nick? Reckon Portsmouth are winning it?
Yeah, because they're very, very strong at home. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think they've probably only lost one game at home. I think they got beat 4-0 by someone a couple of weeks ago. But apart from that, they're always good at home. And I guess it's what we said with quite a few teams. Whoever finishes above them will go up. So yeah, they're in the driving seat. Although Bolton, they've got a game in hand and they're only 2 points behind. So it is a very tough. Well, as all leagues, as we say, all leagues are tight, and yeah, those top 2 places are they're there for teams to aim for. So any one of the top 6 could probably get in there with a good run.
Completely agree. Aled has put it's Pompey's to lose. Bolton. I'm still like that with Bolton. Like, I don't know. Like, I would have said Portsmouth, but I just feel like Bolton creeping up on them a bit. And they were actually my favourites at the beginning of the season as well, Bolton. So who knows? Adam has put 1 against Wickham, drew against Portsmouth, back to the same old story against Reading. And then we have in the chat, and Lee Johnson sat at Fleetwood. The song works. The only thing we need left in that song now is for Keane Hayes to sign back for us, but hopefully on a permanent. If that happens, Anne, I promise you right now, you will, even though you are one of my favourite ever people, you will be my most favourite person ever, if that works. And I'm putting it all down to that song. Just having a look through the results as well, if I've missed any. Northampton, I don't know if we'll obviously come onto the league table. I might go onto it now, but Northampton are flying at the minute. Picking up some really good results. 9th they are.
Yeah, it's well, I've always like I said the other week when Danny was on, I always like going to Northampton's ground. It's a lot of people don't like it for some reason, but I think it's decent there. Never had any problem. There's plenty of space. It's easy car parking, and for us, for a change, we've usually got good results there, which is probably the other reason I like it. So.
Same, and that says something with Rochdale.
Yeah.
In the chat as well, I didn't realise this, but Mr. Luke has actually put this could be a really good game. Bolton and Portsmouth is near the last game of the season. That could be a huge game.
For us, that would be a big crowd for that as well.
Definitely. 2 really big clubs as well.
Yeah.
Wolsey in the chat, I've seen every team play this season. I think it'll be Portsmouth. We led 2-0 at half-time. They came back to win 3-2. They are the best team going in the league. Winners mentality, that as well. In our league as well with Chesterfield. A few times they've been 2-0 down and ended up winning 3-2. So that is a sign of being winners as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Losing, but then managing to win the game. See that a lot. And can I have a free ticket to a home game if he comes back? If he comes back, honestly, you can have any tickets. I will buy you any ticket you want. I will even buy you Chippy as well from the best Chippy ever, Wilbert's Lane.
Well, we'll have to make that a game we all meet up.
Yes.
Sure. And we'll all come to Rochdale and have a good meet up.
100% down for that. So if Keane Hayes signs, you heard it here first, everyone. You're all invited to that game. I love Rochdale. Oh, thank you. Wolsey again. The Great Escape is on as long as we don't get a points deduction again, or I really hope you don't. Ant has put superb chippy. It really is a superb chippy. I am on a diet though at the minute, so not having that. Wickham could do with getting Gareth Ainsworth back by the looks of it. Oh yeah, they've dropped down, haven't they?
Yeah.
Dropped down. Night out in Rochdale after what a job. What we'll do, because Rochdale isn't the best place for a night out, we can go somewhere else what's more local, because I advise you, I love the football team to bits, but Rochdale on a night out is not the best place. I'm just putting it out there. I love Rochdale.
We'll leave it to you to sort out, Char.
I know. Mr. Luke, I know why he loves Rochdale. I think it's because he beat us now every time that they play us, which is annoying. Shawnee put, I made a really bad joke about the pub behind the stand when it caught fire, so I have to be careful when I go. And Wolsey has put, Shad, do you want a free ticket to come to see Dorset one? Last time this season, a first choice centre back going to you on loan, help him so much. Honestly, it was so good watching him grow. And I don't want to obviously get on and talk about us too much, but just from the Reading perspective, from when he first came to us and he first started, and it just shows that obviously getting minutes and getting time in like a different league can really help like a young lone player like progress. So it was just mental from when he first signed to like the end, what player he did become. And as you say, his first choice centre-back now, so it's really good. It's always nice to see like loan players, especially young loan players doing well, and then obviously they get a chance in the first team. Then we have Adam in the chat as well. He has put, we beat Wycombe on Boxing Day, first win since the 16th of September for 100 days. Wow. Wow, that is mental. Aled as well, never got to try the chippy in Rochdale from when I visited with Wrexham in the FA Cup, which we lost 1-0. Wow. And hopefully get another chance. Hopefully one day we might get promoted, but the way Wrexham are being at the minute, I think Wrexham will get promoted again before we even get promoted. But taking a look at the League One table, we have Portsmouth in first on 53 points. Bolton are second, do have a game in hand though, on 51 points. Playoffs are Peterborough in third on 49 points. Derby fourth on 46 points. Oxford also on 46 points. They are in fifth. And we have Barnsley, who have the last playoff spot. They have 43 points. And then in relegation, we have Exeter City in 21st on 23 points. Carlisle below them on 20 points. Cheltenham are below them, also on 20 points, but they do have a game in hand. And then bottom of the table, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be nice about this. We have Fleetwood on 20, obviously 24th on 18 points. Fleetwood.
Actually, with Cheltenham, even though they're second from bottom, they're only 3 points away from Reading with a game in hand. And considering they didn't score for God knows how many games at the start of the season, they have got a chance of moving up that league now. So I think they've been doing reasonable. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with them.
Definitely. Claire, everyone's just asking as well where Claire is. She's just had to nip off for a minute. So what we are going to do, because obviously she does want to talk Stockport and have her say, I'll scoot to the National League really, really quickly and I will have my rant about AFC files. So I am really sorry if I do get the show cancelled before League 2 because it might end up that way. But
just stay calm. Stay calm.
I need to stay calm and composed. It's a good job, actually. It's a really good job we're doing it on Thursday and not a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because obviously, or the Monday night, because I have had a chance to calm down now. But I am still quite annoyed. Sam has mentioned in the chat, he has put, this really made me laugh. Happy New Year, everyone. Did I hear something about a chippy? You did. We are planning an absolute football podcast day out to watch a Rochdale game and have chippy if Cian Hayes ends up signing for us, because it's all Ant's song. I mean, it got Lee Johnson the sack, and then obviously, fingers crossed, it gets us Cian Hayes. Don't know if it will, but it's worth a try. Sam just appears when a chippy has been mentioned. It is a very good chippy, though, honestly. I'm not just saying it because obviously it's in Rochdale, but definitely try it if you ever come to a Dale game. 7 points behind playoffs. We are not out of it. I completely agree, Shawnee. I mean, I always go on about Northampton because one of my favourite ever league players who I've watched for quite a few seasons now, Sam Hoskins. I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Always has a really good game against us as well. I always go on about him because he's one of them players where he'll never end up playing for us because he's so good. And you just watch him because he's just so skillful and he's just such a good player. So, yeah, I do like Northampton, and I think it's brilliant how far they've climbed up. They're doing really, really well. Mr. Luke, it's my sixth sense for a chippy. A lot of chippy talking here. Ant has put, do you want me to jump on for 5 minutes? It's entirely up to you, anyone. If you want to jump on, Sam, if you want to jump on, Ant, you are more than welcome. Shawnee has put, filed are wild. I will get onto that. I will get onto that. And yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. And Sam has also put, Ant's miracle voice strikes again. So we will leave League 2 for the time being. And we will jump onto the National League. So I'm just going to go through a few of these results. Barnet 1, Southend 0. Barnet picking up points, obviously up there. Southend a bit hit and miss at the minute, but it's really nice to see they have finally been took over and they can now sign players, which is absolutely amazing because we all know the struggles they went through. So yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. And Nick, didn't you say you adopted a National League team?
Yeah, and I was going to give you some clues to who it is to see if you can guess.
It best not be Oldham.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm going to say, or it'll just be me on my own. It best not be Filed either.
Oh, God, no. No, not at all. Right. One of their players has got brothers that play in League Two and League One. So 3 brothers, one in League Two, one in League One, and one in the National League. That's your first clue.
Oh.
So if anybody's listening, who've got any ideas?
Everybody in the chat, if you want to have your guess as well.
Second clue is they've got ex-Swindon player playing for them by the name of Carroll.
I'm lost, mate, at the minute.
Third clue, they could be mistaken for Queen's Park Rangers.
It's not Hartlepool, is it?
Nope.
No.
Third clue, they're not a million miles from where I live.
Let me have a look through now.
Yeah, many more. Chris has got it. Oxford City.
Oxford City.
Yeah, the brothers are the McEachran brothers.
Yes.
You've got Zach at Oxford City, George is at Swindon, and Josh is at Oxford.
I'm going to say
Oxford
Josh.
United.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the brothers, and so I thought, seeing as we're an award-winning podcast, and it's all about the National League, I thought, well, maybe let's expand a bit, and I'll adopt a team. No, so it's brought them a great deal of luck, although they because I think all your games were double headers, weren't they, over the last 2 games? I mean, they had a great win at Dorking 2-0, which I thought, great, that'll get them out of the bottom 4, and then they go and lose 2-1 at home to them on the next game. So they are in danger of going down, but I think they probably overachieved to a degree to actually get into the National League last season, and they did it via the playoffs where they won their semi 2-0 against Worthing, then they had a cracking 4-0 against St Albans. So but yeah, I guess with it, there's probably not a lot of money there. Crowds aren't going to be massive, but it's a nice little ground, so I'm aiming to see if I can get to some games before the season ends, just to have a look, first-hand experience. And then so I'll do a sort of feedback report on them each week.
I love that.
League. So yeah, so hopefully, trouble is they're a bit like us at the moment. They're struggling. So I'm not a glory hunter, at least.
Do you know what I will say, though? I know, obviously, we played them quite early on. I think it might have been actually our first away game of the season we played them. I know it was very early on. And obviously, with Jim McNulty, he had a whole new side and things like that. So our players were gelling. But they didn't look a bad team. They looked a quite good team. And I tell you what, they did have quite a few chances against us. They kept Louis Molden busy, to be fair.
Yeah. I saw a bit of the highlights from the 2-1 defeat with Dorking, and it looked like their keeper had an absolute blinder just from the highlights it showed. So there's a bit of hope in there. I think they're 4th. Well, we'll see the league table in a minute. I think they're still in the bottom 4 because it's obviously 4 that go down, isn't it, for the National League?
Yeah.
So which makes it obviously harder for teams that are coming up in having to adjust to a higher level.
100%. There's a lot of money as well in the National League now. I know, obviously, there's a few teams like ourselves. We haven't got the best budget, and obviously, like we mentioned with Oxford, and then other teams, Hartlepool, I think, are struggling at the minute as well. Obviously, they
Yeah.
need investment, but there's some really big teams in there with big budgets. I know Bromley's one, obviously Chesterfield, Oldham as well. But it's like, I think with the National League at the minute, it is like another league. It's like a League 3, essentially, isn't it? I know with the money and stuff going into it.
Yeah. Well, you look at the teams that come up to League 2 from last season.
Yeah.
In you know, they're doing well. So in the last couple of seasons, you got your Stockports, your Wrexhams, your Notts Counties, and obviously Chesterfield are looking favourites to do that, and they'll do well when they, assuming they get into League 1, League 2 for next season. So it is a very good league.
100%. Just going in the chat as well, there's a lot of love for Eastleigh. Eastleigh double Desi, Paul McCallum is on fire. I mean, what a result there. Eastleigh 4, Dagenham 4. I mean, a bit of a thriller that game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Lucas put, I didn't want to say what I thought about this match, but I have to, since I love sharing my views on these shows. Win, lose or draw, York versus Gateshead. Chris has also put, Hartlepool sat their manager. I think it was after Monday's game. Yeah, Askey has gone. John Askey has gone. I know if Hartlepool fans haven't been impressed lately. I think there's a lot of issues going on behind the scenes. As I mentioned before, they're looking for investment. I don't think there's much money being put into it. And I think, to be fair to Hartlepool, they've got a lot of injuries. And I don't think it's a bit similar to us, where it's not as if it's like the odd injury here and there, but they're only out for a few weeks. I think they are quite bad injuries. Mancini, a player they signed, I know he's out quite long term. A few other players. So I think with Hartlepool at the minute, I do feel sorry for him because they're on a bit of a downward spiral. Really are. Eastleigh, Shawnee as well, putting Eastleigh versus Dagenham and Redbridge look like a thriller. Chris has put FA Cup for 3 National League teams this weekend. I know, that's amazing. I love when the dark horses. Hartlepool are in a bit of a mess off the pitch. They have sat their manager, John Askett, and their owner is doing something dodgy financially. Ooh,
careful what you're saying.
I know. That is just on the chat. I am not. Don't be accused of me. Allegedly. We will say that. So Chris has then put, he's trying to sell the club, isn't he, Mr. Luke? And then Mr. Luke has put, people want him to, but it isn't happening, it looks like. I think he has put it up for sale, hasn't he? But I think the only thing is, there's not many people, obviously. They need the investment coming, but I don't know. It's a bit similar to our situation at Dale, where we have looked for outside investment, but the right parties haven't come forward and stuff. So, yeah, not good. And as well saying, Lenny Lawrence getting a Hartlepool job, blast from the past there. I know.
Christ, he must be getting on, mustn't he? Lenny Lawrence?
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, because I did see a post that somebody said, Christ, I didn't even know he was still alive. I thought it was a bit mean.
I know. That's really tight. Mr. Luke as well, talking about Gateshead. So it was such a painful and dreadful game to watch. Our playing style has its pros and cons. The cons of it were on show for us. That's York versus Gateshead. And then he put, passing it backwards and sideways as York was sitting back. They hit us on the counter twice and they both scored from it. We had chances, but we just weren't testing their keeper at all.
Christ, that sounds like Swindon.
I know. We've had about 4 players either injured or left, and our squad is getting thin and we need to sign some players, which I hate asking on Twitter.
Definitely sounds like Swindon.
I know. A bit similar to Rochdale as well. We have no game on Saturday since Eastleigh are in the FA Cup, but next game against Chesterfield, which I'm making a trek up on a college night. Oh, late night for you then. But yeah, I think with what was I going to say? I mentioned it a few weeks back when we played York, and they do have some very good players, York, and they have actually splashed the cash. in the summer. I think the only thing is, I think they bought too many players and they've just not had the time to gel, because we've seen it before with other teams, and even in the Premier League last season with Nottingham Forest, where they've just gone out there, bought anybody, haven't they? And they've not really had the time to gel. So they have got some really good players, York, and I know they have been picking up some results. I think they're out of relegation now as well. We will have a look at the table. So I think they have played some decent football. Get Estelle in to buy pools. He has spent the money on. Positive news, Osha. I saw you sign a new player today. Yes, I will get on to that. And we actually signed this player on loan from AFC Fylde. Yeah, I think I will get onto it as well. I think we have signed this player because they felt that bad of the situation, what happened to our player on Monday, which was an absolute disgrace. But I will get onto that in a minute. We'll just go back to the chat. Anta's put he is 76, Nick.
Older than me, blimey. That makes me feel young now. There's still hope.
Then Anta's put Chesterfield is a lovely ground, Luke. We went to watch Sunderland women play Sheffield United women there. A lovely ground. It is a very good ground. Akinyemi shouldn't be in a National League. He was a handful. I'll have my say anyway on the game. Obviously, the game before that, when we played AFC Fylde, we did win 2-0. We are struggling at the minute, Rochdale. So this game against AFC Fylde away, I wasn't expecting us to win at all. We have got a lot of injuries, and I mean a lot of injuries. We've got the smallest squad in the league as it is, and then along with injuries, looked at the team. Tyree Sinclair obviously was suspended for that game. He got a yellow card for celebrating, even though he got substituted off the pitch. The Fylde game before that, he was substituted, went off the pitch, but because he celebrated with our players, he didn't have a bib or a coat on. He got another booking, so obviously that was a red card. So he had a 1-game suspension, which is obviously, it's silly at the end of the day. He shouldn't have done it, but the passion and everything, and it's one of them, is only human at the end of the day. He was celebrating, and one of the young lads we have on loan scored his first goal for us, so it's what it is. But yeah, we were down on numbers. We only had 3 substitutions as well. 2 of them were first-year scholarships, so it's not looking good for us at the minute. It was just a really awful game. There was nothing about us. Our players looked like they were really running on fumes. Ian Henderson as well, bless him. He's nearly 40 years old. And Jim McNulty said he didn't expect him to play as many minutes as he is. And he's our only striker at the minute, because obviously Cairo Mitchell's injured. Devante Rodney's out with a hamstring injury. So poor Ian Henderson, bless him, has had to play every single game. So yeah, we were just running on fumes. AFC Fylde did deserve it. They probably should have won more than 2-0. The chances they had and they didn't put away, I am so glad, because if their strikers were on form, and I think it kind of shows why they are down at the bottom of the league, because they had so many chances, but they just can't score. But then obviously managed to get 2 goals. As for Chegbourne as well, I think a lot of people probably have seen it, but around AFC Fylde's ground, they have sponsor boards, which, in my opinion, and as it's shown, hasn't really fitted in with like the health and safety regulations, and it's a massive hazard. So Chegbourne is a winger of ours, and he's got some speed about him, quite a speedy, tricky winger. And obviously he was running, trying to create a chance. An AFC Fylde player has shoved a Chegbourne, and then a Chegbourne, obviously because he can't stop himself, has gone over the bar, and then he has smacked into the rails where you are standing, because our away fans were stood up. It was like a metal bar where we were obviously holding on to, us away fans and stuff. He has then gone over it and smashed his head off this metal bar, hit the concrete. So then obviously it's a very, very serious matter. The referee decided to then play on whilst this has happened, didn't check a check balloon, decided to play on, and then obviously checked the AFC file player who dramatised his injury because he just shoved a check balloon, said that he had a bad ankle, got straight back up their player, carried on for 7 minutes while medics obviously were seeing to a check balloon off the pitch. And he ended up, obviously, 7 minutes, he ended up playing on for, finally stopped the game because it was that serious. A check balloon then for a further 30 minutes. So it was 20 minutes injury time. A check balloon then, obviously, couldn't carry on. He got stretchered off. Before it was a spinal injury, but luckily it's got to the point now where he got discharged from hospital. He looks absolutely fine. You just need to do further tests on him, so it wasn't as bad as they first initially thought. But for a referee of that standard, I just think it's an absolute joke that they didn't stop the game, because in my opinion, we stopped the game when obviously there's a matter going on off the pitch as well, and this was a very serious injury. The lad has obviously smacked his head and then fallen on the concrete. So, yeah, it's just refereeing in the National League is an absolute joke.
Yeah, I see the pictures from the ground, and those low, is it advertising hoardings? They just look at such a dangerous trip hazard.
It's
anyone
the
just coming off
advertising
the
board.
pitch.
Yeah, but they've got no actual board on them, these ones. So some of them have around the ground, but these are just metal bars.
Yeah. Is that, I mean, how that passes a safety certificate, I don't know. That's just crazy.
Everyone's saying as well, and bless him, I'm amazed how calm you have been here, Sha. I know, I think I have to. We've got a League 2 to get through as well, so I can't really get us cancelled, especially for award winners. Could be quality content, no, but I might get the show cancelled. Chris has put as well, need to stop the game for anything like that. I completely agree. Aled has put, those barriers are horrendous and didn't look safe when I went there for a league game. Too low in metal. The thing is as well, a check balloon isn't the only player this season. What it's happened to is obviously accident was a lot more serious than what has happened to the other players. But I think an Oldham player it happened to. I think it was either an Oldham, because we were obviously talking to Oldham fans as well on Twitter. It was either an Oldham player that it happened to or an AFC filed player against Oldham. And I think it might have happened to a York player as well. So this is like the third incident with these metal bars. So I don't know how they're getting away with it.
No.
I really don't. So that's why I think, because there was a lot of links that this defender who we have signed today from Filed is just come back from injury. So obviously it's game time for them, and we are in serious need of a defender, because George Nevitt, the young lad I always talk about, he is now out for 8 weeks as well. We have got a loan signing from Fleetwood, a defender who came off injured at the AFC File game as well. So we are very low on numbers. So I think with AFC Filed before, instead of sending him to Oldham, where he was initially linked with, they've kind of sent him to us as a bit of like, here we go. Like, this happened to your player. We're really sorry for that. So yeah, it's just annoying, because I just think to myself, like, if this is the third time it's happened, surely, like, something needs done about it, because it could have ended a lot worse. Like, a check balloon, as much as obviously it looked really bad, it wasn't obviously then the case where obviously he's had tests and stuff now and he is fine. But imagine if it wasn't, something serious could have really happened to him.
But that's the trouble with, if they don't take these things seriously, they say with any accidents, it starts off, it at the bottom of a pyramid where you have either a near misses or what could be classed as minor accidents, and obviously that wasn't. But then it builds up and up and up until you get a serious one. So yeah, from that first one, the league should have been looking at that and sorted something out without doubt. It's just bad mismanagement. And, I think if I was your club, I would be suing the league for lack of care.
100%. I've said that as well. And that referee as well, because there was a lot of people debating with me on Twitter, and it was like, well, the refereeing is right, can play on. And I said to him, I said, well, if that's a fan in the ground, or if that's an incident in the ground, like in the stands, they stop the game and they remove the players. And Chegbolam, he was a player, but technically he was in the stand as well, because obviously it came in the stand, it hit his head, fell on the concrete, it was in the stand. Like, you should stop the game immediately. But what kind of annoyed me as well, and with this debate, it was like, then the referee played on. But if that was us, and if that was any other team or professional, you'd kick the ball out and say no. Like, if that was someone else, you'd be like, no. If that was me personally, if I was a player, I'd kick the ball out and be like, no, I'm not carrying on until he's been seen to. Because, and I don't know if they didn't see the extent of the injury and they didn't see what had happened. I'm not sure. But I just think for something like that, and when these medics obviously attending to him as well in the stand, you stop the game. Like, it could have been something really serious. Luckily, it's not ended up being as serious as we all thought, because everyone thought, and there was people saying it was a spinal injury, because obviously he was on the stretcher and things like that, and like the way he landed. But yeah, it's annoying. But as I said about Dale at the minute, very low on numbers. We have Kidderminster at home. So obviously you'd expect us to win on paper, but we drew against them away as well. So they're usually the games that we lose as well, the ones where, you know, the lower teams. But I'm hoping with a couple more numbers in, we'll be fine. Jim McNulty as well, bless him.
You better win.
I know. I know. Don't be blaming me if we don't. Jim McNulty as well after the game. You could see how upset he was with like the incident, and he just basically said, like, he said about the game and said we didn't deserve to win, we were awful, blah de blah, but it's not about football today. And he actually turned around and said, I just don't know what to do. Like, we've only got this number of players now. I don't know whether we train the players, how many days to train, because I don't want more injuries and things like that. And he genuinely looked lost. Like, in these 8 months, he has like been interim manager and then obviously took over. He has not had to deal, no one else has had to deal with as much as what he's had to deal with in that short time. And he's just still so positive and he's still so genuine and things like that. And yeah, I've got so much love for Jim McNulty. So much love for him. I want to clip that as well and send it to him.
Stockport boy.
Honestly, have you ever met him? He's so lovely.
Yeah, he is.
He's such a lovely, lovely guy. And that's why I want him to, obviously because he's managing my team as well. So I want him to do well, but just because he's just so genuine. And I just think to myself, what he's done for us already with the budget and with the squad we've got, I would love someone to come in and invest in us and give him the chance. Not like your Ryan Reynolds kind of thing, just some money, just a little bit more, just to, out of everybody, he really deserves it. Just the way he plays football, just what he's been through with the club at the minute. I just think he really does deserve like a higher budget. So yeah, I'm really rooting for Jim. I love him.
Love that.
I love him so much. Everyone say welcome back, Clare, as well.
Thanks. Sorry, I just had to go and do some work for the boss.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Just going to the table now. So we have Chesterfield. They are top of the league on 62 points. What a shock.
They're not
Chesterfield's
getting
top.
caught, are they?
No. They were, I'm sure as well, they were 2-0 down and ended up winning 3-2. I think it was really close as well. I think it was like the 60th, the 63rd and the 69th minute or something, all three of their goals.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
It's something similar, weren't it? Yeah.
34 and 53, they went 2-0 down, and then say that 5-minute spell, 63rd, 65th, 68th.
Yeah.
Grigg, is that Will Grigg?
Yeah.
Yes.
God, geez, he must be getting on as well.
No.
Got some really good players.
Yeah.
Surely he's not that old.
Mr. Lucas put as well, look at that. We are still hanging on in 5th with our incredible goal difference. So Chesterfield are top on 62 points, and we have Bromley in 2nd on 55 points. Barnet in third on 52 points. Then in the playoffs, we have Solihull Moors on 43 points. We have Gateshead on 40 points, Altrincham on 40 points, FC Halifax on 40 points. Just outside of the playoffs in 8th, we have Aldershot on 40 points.
Claire,
Then
did you watch the? Did you go to the Aldershot game?
No, I watched it.
What did you think of them?
Well, I've seen them before because obviously we were in non-league anyway, but they're quite a well-organised team, aren't they?
Yeah. At least you only, what was it? You lost 1-0, didn't you?
Played a few games since then, Nick. I don't have the best memory, you know.
Let's just say, guys, we're the only one on here who can beat Aldershot. Cian Hayes. And then in relegation, we have Oxford City, bless them, on 24 points. Ebbsfleet on 24 points. AFC Fylde a 23rd on 22 points. Kidderminster, who we play, you know the score, you know what's going to happen on Saturday. Clare has backed them. Bottom of the league, we have Kidderminster on 20 points.
Just to confirm, I've not backed Kidderminster. I've backed Rochdale.
No, that's what I mean. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to mess your bet up.
You're going to win.
I hope so.
Is that home, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I might come.
We are at home.
We're not playing.
Yeah, come to Dale. Come and have the chippy I keep mentioning.
Did they do lettuce and tomatoes?
Oh, it's Saturday. Just looking at that though, as I mentioned before, York, they've really climbed up, haven't they? 16th now. Because I'm sure last time we were speaking about York, they were in the relegation last show.
Yeah. They've signed a few players as well, haven't they? I know they've just like I'll talk about it now that we're in the National League. Billy Chadwick was sent, like we signed him in the summer. On this, we've got this system which is it's above academy level, but it's below like first team and reserve. Yeah. We don't have a reserve team, but basically it's like players that are talented, but they might have been like let go by another club. So we sign them and we work with them. And as part of the development, sometimes they'll go to another club on loan, which is exactly what Billy Chadwick did. But I just find it really weird that we've signed him on a contract, loaned him out to Gateshead, which is fine, normal. But then we've released him from his contract so that he can sign for York. So it just sounds, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Have they bought him though, York? Because I know York have got quite a bit of money.
No, we released him so that he could sign. Because I only found that out because County said, like, following his release from Stockport, like, it's weird.
Yeah. Chris as well has put so many games Wheels don't have to play to catch up. Yes, we play them. I'm sure we play them soon as well. Mr. Luke, Hartlepool are just dropping like a stone. I know we mentioned them before and the difficulties. Sad to see as well.
It is.
It's sad to see. I like Hartlepool.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
It just seems like the ownership issues and the internal issues at Hartlepool are probably having a massive, massive impact on what's going around, like, on the pitch. So I think sometimes it's not the football, but the behind the scenes that make you struggle. But it's just sad to see, really.
Completely agree. And Mr. Luke has put as well about the other situation. He signed for Stockport and then he went to us on loan. We played York on Saturday and lost against them. So then he went to join York. I don't think it was just because of that home, Mr. Luke. Bless you. I mean, look at you guys in the league. Definitely want to stay at Gateshead, I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Dorking end up in a relegation battle. For a very strange team, Dorking, because I feel like they pick up like a really good win and then they just go on a like, yeah, I do like the documentary though.
I've not seen it.
Oh, we're the latest episode, and it's really, really funny when they played us, and it really is a character, isn't it, Mark White? Their manager, their chairman. It makes me laugh as well if he ever did get promoted. But he wouldn't be allowed to manage them, would he, in the Football League, because he's not got his badges.
I tell you what, though, just want to give a shout out to Southend. Look at him up to 17th. With the deductions that have had, the issues off the pitch, things are looking up for him, and hopefully they have a good 2024 because obviously they've got new owners, the transfer ban's been lifted, they've overcome that deficit that they had, so they're doing. How many points were they deducted? Was it 10?
Quite, yeah. Was it more? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but fair play to him though for managing to do that.
That made me laugh as well. Manager, chairman, and owner. Is there anything Mark White can't do? Exactly.
Did he decorate the changing room or?
It was funny just watching him. When in that episode, the character he is and everything, they should have won. They played a lot better than us. And we actually got 2 really late goals. And on one of them, Ian Henderson obviously scored. They thought it was offside. So we went in shouting and bawling at like the referee and the linesman saying, oh, it was offside, blah, 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 blah. And then he went back to the dressing room. And one of their players actually said, no, Gaffer, I actually played him onside. So straight away he went, oh, no. So he went straight back in to the referee and the linesman, and he was like, I'm really sorry. He's just admitted that he played him onside. I do apologise. And fair play to him, like he was ranting and stuff, but then he straight away went back in and said, I'm really, really sorry.
That's balls, that.
That is, to be fair. That is. It would just made me laugh because this player was like, no, Gaffer, I did play him on side. Like, admitting it, like, putting his hand up.
Did it show what he did to the player afterwards?
No, it didn't. It cut after that.
Yeah.
The screen went black.
Ferguson-esque hairdryer at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. Or a boot smacked in above your eye.
In the chat as well, Aled has put Woking. Have they swapped places with Aldershot? Looking where both teams were positioned last season. Simon has put hope Woking can pull away from the relegation zone as their new manager is an ex-Coventry player. Who's their new manager? I'm intrigued now. I'm sure I've seen it, but I can't remember. The Dorking documentary team went at our 6-0 against them would have been one of the best episodes yet. That would have been a cracker just for Mark White's reaction. I'm gutted about that. Gutted. But yeah, that's the National League. So we will go on to League 2 now. We won't look at the table just yet. Do you want to talk about both of your teams first, or should we look at any other results? I'll let you both decide.
Yeah, I'll talk about our game. I don't mind. Yeah. So we weren't very good. We deserved to get beat. We did have our chances. And I suppose like towards the end of the match, we were really pushing for that equaliser, but it just wasn't coming. And of course, it had to be Keeler Duncourt on the break to put Mansfield 2-0 up. But Mansfield are a very, very, very well-oiled side. They're dirty bastards, but they're a very well-oiled side. Yeah. And the manager knows exactly what to do. The fans were amazing throughout the whole match. They didn't stop. And it's a shame that it was one of the flattest atmospheres I've heard in years at Edgeley Park. And I mean, from the very, very start of the match. We really are struggling at the minute with injuries. But it's January. So, you know what? We're still top of the table, having had a lot of these injuries for months. So we've limped over that line, remaining top, when actually we could have dropped. And I know that there's teams around us that have got games in hand. And to be quite honest, as I've said all the way through, you can't take note of the season, of the table at that point in the season. I actually tip Mansfield now to win the league because they're far and away the best team I've seen. We were just beaten on the day by the better team. Did our injuries play a part in it? Yeah, of course they did. We've got 10 players out. Nick Powell, when he came on, was absolutely outstanding. And I think if we can keep him fit, he's going to play a massive part in the second half of our season. Not worried. I'm not worried at all. We've got January. We can get some players in, and we can do that because we've got we've got owners that back us very well. Yeah. So Ethan Pye went off injured quite early on. He tried to come back on, but he just wasn't able to continue. And he was subbed off. I want to say as early as like the 15th minute or something. It was really early in the match. And the most horrendous thing was in the second half when Ibitori clattered into Kyle Noyle. So it was our own players. And he was knocked out cold, head injury. I don't know who it was, but the first person there was a Mansfield player, and he quickly called for medical staff. So the medical staff from both teams were treating him. It was about a 12-minute delay in the play. He was stretchered off with oxygen. And the board that you get put around your head to keep your head still in case of head injury. But he quickly regained consciousness. But I think the really worrying thing for me was obviously you knew that there was going to be an ambulance coming, but when they got to the side of the pitch, as in like away from the fans, they started running. So at the time, everyone was like, oh my God, they're running. Like, this is really serious. Because obviously we don't have a clue what was going on. Yeah. And he wasn't moving at that point. And then a couple of minutes later, you saw blue flashing lights heading towards the ground. Wow. But within seconds, you saw two stewards absolutely pegging it up the road, presumably to direct them where to go. So we were like, oh my God, like panicking. But I just wanted to say that it's wildly different to the experience that you had at the Fylde match. The staff were all so attentive. The referee was quick to get treatment, and it was as it should be. And luckily enough, Kyle Noyle is absolutely fine. And for me, it puts it into perspective that football is a massive hobby for us, but it's a job for them people, and they're playing out of their skin and risking all injuries all the time. And I think, we're very lucky that Kyle Noyle's injury looks a lot worse than it is. And luckily he's absolutely fine, if not a bit sore. We've got a week off now, so we've not got a game till the 13th. So it's giving our players time to rest, because obviously we're down to bare bones. Louis Barry! Louis Barry apparently is going to be back training in February. So he should be able to play, I think it's late February, early March. Were you at the Stockport Curzon game? Yeah, absolutely. One of the best games ever. And what it was, I think Chorley, Matt Gould saved a penalty from Chorley. So we had a good cheer at that point. And then obviously Glenn Bloody Taylor, do you know what? It's funny because he's a legend at Stockport. He'll never buy a beer if he comes up down south from there, innit? When he scored that late winner, I've never, ever, ever known anything like it. Edgeley Park just completely erupted. The players were playing on the pitch and like, whoa, what's going on? Because I think at the time, Charlie needed just a win to secure it before the last day of the season. They went and lost. We won, so we went ahead of them. And then, I think they needed to win and us draw, but it was still in their hands. But because we won, we went ahead of them in the table with one game to play. And our last game was against bottom of the league, Nuneaton, who hadn't won in ages. So yeah, that was unreal celebrations. Actually, Glenn Taylor came as a guest of honour last season to County, and he walked on the pitch to this heroes welcome, And everyone was like, obviously cheering him and clapping him, but laughing at the same time because we're giving this reception to someone who's never ever played a match for us. But yeah, his winner did it for him. That was great.
I love that. If I turn my camera off as well, I'm either having a sneezing fit or I'm having a coughing fit. I just sneezed, so I was like, I can't have that on camera. So I do apologise, everyone.
Funny. Go on, Nick, you talk about yours if you want.
Yeah, actually, I was just looking at yours. I think you'll be all right because, thankfully for you, both Barrow and Notts County lost their last games.
Yep.
And like you say, well, Barrow have got a game in hand, so it's going to be tight. But I don't
think Barrow are very good,
okay.
And I expect him to start slipping down the table a little bit. The reason I say that, and their fans will acknowledge it, and they've been saying it on social media, is they keep scoring offside goals. Like when we drew with them, both of their goals were offside. And other teams have said it, they're getting penalties that are not penalties. They're just getting lucky. Right. Obviously, it's not all luck, and they've got a phenomenal manager. Pete Wild's ridiculous. And I mean in a good way. So I think they'll be up there, but I think it will be playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get promoted.
I think you're probably right. Well, I said I was going to be positive in 2024. So I'll just go back to the previous game and just to show the problems we've got. Played Forest Green Rovers, who are bottom of the league. Haven't won for quite a while. We go 1-0 up. Dan Kemp, on his last but one game for us, scores. They equalise, make it one each. Dan Kemp scores a second goal. Without the likes of him, I don't know where we would be. And then it's getting a bit scrappy. It's like Sunday football with goalmouth scrambles, in ball being saved on the line by the keeper. It bounced off his legs up in the air and he managed to flip over and grab it on the line. And then they put up the board, 8 minutes stoppage time. And it's like everybody's groaning because what are we like in stoppage time? We let 2 goals in against Wrexham to drop points. We let 3 goals in against Accrington Stanley in almost drop points when we were 4-0 up. So it's like, oh God, here we go. We thought, no, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. The referee gives them the worst penalty you will ever see for 2 reasons. One, the guy was falling over onto his knees. And the second, he was outside the penalty area anyway. So they get a penalty in the 98th minute. Thankfully, our keeper, who hasn't, I think that was his second game, because our on-loan keeper has done his hamstring and gone back to QPR. And fair play to him, he stood up strong, saved the pen, which gave us the victory. And it was like, if we hadn't won that, and then we go to Crawley on the Monday, and I didn't see the game, I only saw the clips in reports from the guys. We went 3-0 down, and defensively we are an absolute shambles. I don't know what they do in training. I don't know what they do in setting up. We've conceded 50 goals, which is only 2 less than Colchester and Sutton, who are in the bottom 2-3 places of the league. And then our consolation goal in stoppage time was scored by Dan Kemp. So his last 2 games before he's gone back to Milton Keynes, he scored 3 goals. And as I've said earlier, Jake Young's gone back to Bradford, and that's their goal paragon. And I think Saturday, we'll struggle to put 11 senior players out on the pitch. The chairman's over from Oz, so say overlooking transfers. Start of the week, we got 3 or 4 lined up. We still haven't signed anyone. And that's what we heard in the summer. Still haven't signed anyone. And we're just going from bad to worse. To me, our only saving grace is Sutton and Forest Green Rovers are sort of a little bit adrift.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm dragged into it. And we play Colchester on Saturday. And who's got a new manager? Oh, good old Colchester. They got the Cowley brothers. Of course
They've
they're
just
going to
signed a
win.
really good defender as well, haven't they?
Yeah, of course they're going to win.
I
So,
didn't think they were bad when we played them, I thought they were just unlucky.
yeah. I mean, they did lose last time out at home to Gillingham, which was...
Also consider though, Nick, you
yeah.
say about this new manager bounce. The new manager's going to be there for a day training.
Yeah, but I think that's his 7th game this season that Town have faced a new manager, which is crazy. and I mean, I'd have to look at all the results, but I'd be surprised if we've won one of them, to be honest. So it's like,
you'll have to look at that and let us know.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'll check that out before the next pod. But you just know, and it's starting to get toxic now. Because there's all rumours that the chairman's actually back over here to sell the club. Our gates average 9,000, and we've got no money. So you're saying, where's the money gone?
Do you remember that episode of Can't Pay Ticket?
Yeah.
I used to love that. I used to love that programme.
I know.
It's locking the doors so they can't get in.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I don't know. It's... football does your head in,
I shouldn't have brought that up because it...
No.
What's happening is... all right, look, someone else has just brought it up.
All right, Mr. Luke. Don't know. Put the boot in, is it?
No, it's really a shame because with crowds of 9,000, you've got a massive ground. Maybe. I mean, your ticket prices are ridiculous.
Exactly. We're not. We're £27 to walk in.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We're not the cheapest. We must have at least 100 sponsors.
Yeah, and maybe what they could do as well is look to like incentivize it, like bring a meat for free if you've got a season ticket, or kids for £1. We've done that in the past, and why don't they do that by opening that stand behind the goal that's never used? Well,
because we don't fill up the rest of the ground, so
but what I mean is, if you were to do something like that.
Yeah, they to be fair, they've tried that in the past, Claire, but it doesn't really work. It's an open stand. You're at the elements of the weather. Half of it was opened when Wrexham came, because obviously they brought quite a few. Quite a few there on the day. In that atmosphere, it was as flat as anything. So I dread to think what it's going to be like Saturday, unfortunately. All we've heard latest, there might be a few players back from injury, but we've been hearing that for weeks and weeks and weeks. So God knows what sort of team we'll put out. Saying all that, but we'll go and win 4-0. So there's my positive spin and everything.
You will.
And to quote quite a lot of quotation, a lot of Swindon fans, all the happy clappers will be out. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but hey,
hey, you are now, though, Nick. It's positive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the positives, but it's bloody difficult. So,
new year, new Nick.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
look at that result for Walsall.
I know.
Like Walsall are flying at the moment.
They are.
And so are Tranmere.
Yeah, Tranmere. That's a hell of a result. Because obviously that was another new manager, not Atkins. His first game was against us, and we lost.
Artell.
Artell's at Grimsby.
No, it's Atkins. He was director of football or something, and he stepped into the managers.
Yeah. I was looking at Grimsby when I was saying it.
Yeah, that hasn't been a great start for him, has it?
Doncaster as well.
That hasn't been a great start for him, has it? Grimsby?
No. Great result for Doncaster beating MK Dons.
In the chat as well.
And Salford are really struggling.
Oh, they're going down. Yeah, they're falling like a stone, aren't they?
Yeah, right at knocks, aren't they? I've shared my opinion on Salford many times, and I don't need to share it again because probably everyone knows it by this point. But I stand by that even more than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I know Morecambe as well are a bit on a downward spiral at the minute. I think it was since me, you, and Aunt Nick spoke about Morecambe
We
and
did.
said how they're just quietly going on, winning
Yeah,
games, and ever
that's
since
it.
then they've lost.
I know.
just
We're even
struggling.
above them in the league. Woohoo. There's my positive. We're above Morecambe. Can't be bad.
We'll talk about all the other teams every week, say how good they're doing, and then hopefully they'll drift
That's
off.
it. Yeah.
Word. Please start doing that. Tell me about how wonderful Mansfield
Well,
are now.
Mansfield are just
Brilliant.
fantastic. So,
So
we'll
good.
put a kiss of death on them. And we're the only team to beat Mansfield. That just shows what
Love it.
That's
stupid
fucking bonkers.
football is so
isn't it?
stupid, isn't it? It's
Bonkers.
like absolutely crazy.
And as well in the chat, it's Defo Adkins at Tranmere. He is so infectious with his positive. I think that's positivity. See, we need to be more like Nigel Adkins, Nick. Spreading the positivity.
Well, our manager's not very positive at the moment, that's for sure.
Get him to call me. I'll have a word with him.
I wish somebody would.
I know, in the chat as well, sorry, I didn't touch on that. I hope the 2 Barrow players that were stretched off get well soon. I heard they had a couple of bad injuries as well.
Yeah, knocked out as well. Both of them.
Monday was an awful day for these players, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
many, like...
Oh, yeah, we lost our centre-half in the warm-up as well to add to the problems. So that disrupted the team. So, yeah, it's... goes from bad to worse.
Sorry, I'm not grinning at injuries. I'm grinning at Ant's comment.
I know. He definitely wants us to jinx him. I mean, we did it to Fleetwood. I mean, Ant's song even got Lee Johnson sacked, so we need to bring out a song.
Yeah, and
get
next week, if we can have a Mansfield, Wrexham, Barrow. Who else is up there?
Notts County.
Crew.
That's a bit. That could be the
Sing
dark
a song
horse.
with all of them, please.
Yeah, let's Crew up.
I know. Enza's got it right as well. He put, when it rains, it pours. It does.
Yeah.
It always rains up north, doesn't it, Claire? Always where we live. Moving on to the table as well. So in first place, yay! We have Stockport on 51 points. And then in second, we have Mansfield on 49 points, but they do have a couple of games in hand. Wrexham in third on 49 points. Then the playoffs, we have Barrow in fourth on 45 points. Notts County in fifth on 42 points. But as we mentioned before, they have been heavily linked with a move, haven't they, for the manager? Has he officially gone, or has he just been like...
No, it's officially gone now.
It's officially gone. Oh, I wonder if they get there, Notts County. That'll be very interesting.
They're a massive club, really. I mean, even at our level.
Yeah.
So they should be able to attract a pretty good manager.
100%. Crew are sixth on 41 points, and then we have got AFC Wimbledon, who
they're going to struggle soon.
I agree.
We're bringing back 2 of their best players.
Oh, really?
Oh, good. Well
done. They're on loan there, so...
Good. And then in relegation, we have Sutton United who are can't get my words out, put my teeth back in, who are 23rd, but awful on 18 points. And then bottom of the league, we have Forest Green on 17 points. And just above that, there's a little bit of a gap, isn't there, to be honest? I mean, it's only 5 points between Sutton and Colchester, but there is a little bit of a gap, isn't there? Do we think they're going to be the 2? Do you think it just depends?
Yeah. I think Salford could get dragged into it, though, if they're not careful. I think Colchester will go on and have a good second half of the season now. They're probably bringing another couple of players in. They've got a pretty amazing management team now. So I think they'll be fine. I also think Tranmere could be an outside shot at the playoffs. So they're 6 points off it after that terrible start.
That means we're in the shout as well, then.
I know.
I mean, for how rubbish we've been, we're 6. Yeah, we're 2 wins off.
Yeah, but you had a phenomenal start to the season, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Thank God we did.
I know.
Positivity, remember, Nick? You might do it. You're gonna do
You're
it.
15 points clear of the drop, and I don't think Sutton and Forest Green will make up that gap.
No. Well, see what happens Saturday.
In the chat as well, we've got an Ara like Barrow. Allard has put a game in hand. Ends has put Come on, Wrexham.
Oh, piss off.
Walsall are in close touching distance of playoffs too. And then Mr. Luke is having his say.
So Mr. Ents is another Wrexham fan, is he? So
No,
we've
he's a Liverpool fan.
Oh, I was going to say we've got two of the buggers now, but it's just one.
Yeah, no, it's
Sorry,
just
Alex.
supporting us. And that is the end of the football chat for this week. But we have got a surprise because obviously we couldn't do our Christmas special. Unfortunately, I had plans and Sam, bless him, was poorly. But he has made an appearance and we have got a Christmas special of Where is Claire?
Hi,
How
Sam.
we doing? Can you
Hi,
hear
Sam.
me? Am I
Yeah.
linked
Yes, we
in? Can you
can.
hear me? Good, excellent. I'm on the phone. I'm out of my sorts. I think I'm sorted. How are we? You all right?
Yeah, we
we're
go.
good.
I'm not too bad. Just wolfed down sausage and mash, so I'm ready for you.
Do you know what I've just noticed? Has this been like that all the way through the podcast? This bit of
I've not
hair?
even noticed.
I had like a bit stuck up. You wouldn't think we're award winners. I love it.
Right, shall I get this? Bear with me because I tried to sort this out earlier today and it didn't work very well. So bear with me. Talk
Do
amongst
not
yourselves
worry.
while
Do
I do
not
some
worry.
clicking.
Oh, look, Sam's got a nice picture in the background. Is it Santorini?
Do you like it? It's very nice and it's very summery. And there we go.
Is it
Look, that's it there.
Santorini?
I think so. Yeah. It's
Oh, there were
obviously
fake
Santorini
apologies,
type
Alan.
place, yeah.
Have you seen that Ants put as well? Tennis and sausage and mash,
Oh,
stuff
no,
of
look at
King's
that.
Sam.
Professional to the end. That's me. Professional to the end.
Not to make you jealous, but I had a really fit Thai red curry.
Oh, that does sound good.
I'm really jealous
Right.
because I've got half my salad here, what I've not ate. So I'm going to have
What
that
you mean?
after. I'm eating lettuce, for God's sake. Not good.
Right, is that
Oh.
coming up? Hang on, it's doing my voice twice, so I might have to
So
shut up in a minute.
excited.
Right, I'm going to shut up, so I think I have to unmute this to get what we need. Ready? Right, so Christmas time. Christmas time is still here technically. So where is Claire Christmas still? And of course, we had to do a Where is Claire Christmas, and it is the 12 days of Claire. Here we go. Is it playing? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's snowing.
Can you hear anything?
No.
No.
No. Okay. That hasn't worked. Bear with me. Try again.
I can hear my laugh.
Oh, God, so good. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, God.
It's not working. I'll tell you what. I'll come off of here and then I'll do it on the computer. So stay there, and at some stage it will come on.
No problem.
Bear with me.
Oh, I love how everyone's
Oh.
mentioning what they've had for the tea as well.
You
I
got
love it.
COVID, Ant? You should have said. Sorry, I'm really going on at you for the recently, Anna. I'm sorry, Anne. I love you.
I hope you didn't get it from a Newcastle fan.
I know. Enza said, "Where's Claire? Just needs a show on its own." I love that.
Ah,
1 minute, guys. A sneeze is coming.
hey, it could be a show of its own, just talking about my life's dramas.
Oh, man.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, something's happening.
Oh,
No.
Snow is falling.
all around me.
Come on, Nick, you next.
I can't do lyrics. They don't stick in my head. So I don't
Ah.
make music.
Do you want me to teach you a song? You know,
It,
like I
it
was
wouldn't.
talking-
It wouldn't stick. Honestly, I cannot process lyrics of songs at all. Even
Can I
when
just give
the
a
very few that I like, I can't.
I bet you can.
No, honestly.
I just want to profusely apologise to Anne. COVID is an awful, awful virus. I hope you feel better soon. You were very sympathetic about my ankle, which is still fucked, by the way. How long ago was that?
I can't remember. But
Was
before
that right?
Christmas, wasn't it? Oh, Sam has put, "Are you ready?" We are ready, Sam. We are ready.
Looking almost. Oh.
It's teasing us. Oh, way.
What was my first football? Well, it's probably going to be a bit of a mad story to tell, actually, because
There's a surprise.
it actually is like crazy. So when I grew up in Wivenshaw, which is a little part of Manchester near the airport, and all my friends were United fans, so I was a United fan. Never watched it on TV. I was just a United fan because my friends were. And then my mum's from down south, so she's a Spurs fan, always has been. But when my mum met my stepdad, he is a Manchester City fan, and he started taking me to the football. Now, I never became a City fan. I must say, I never really cared, but I enjoyed going and watching it. So the first time I went to Stockport was with my mum's friend, because I've got no family that support them. Well, I suppose I've got my daughter and husband now, but just loved it and was a Stockport fan from that day.
Love that. Mr. Lucas put as well. Is this going to be part of the bloopers reel? Probably. We've got many of bloopers. That's why I was so shocked that people actually voted for us to win a trophy. Or should I say a certificate? But yeah, thank you everyone who did vote. I will pay you your $5 after. I'm joking.
Yeah, still no noise, Sam.
Oh.
You'll have to do a talk through, won't he?
I know.
Yeah, sing instead.
Either that or we have to just upload it on our socials.
Here you go, Charlotte. What was your first football experience?
My first football experience was, I can't remember my first ever proper game because I went with my dad when I was really young. But then when my mum and dad split up, it was kind of mine and my dad's thing to obviously go to Dale. And my first real buzz for it was the 98-99 season, watching Rochdale. And we actually lost against Torquay. But my dad got me a season ticket because when my mum and dad split up, it was like our kind of thing to do. And you know, when you just feel really part of it, and even though we lost and stuff, like the singing, the chanting and things like that, it was just, it was really good. But I will admit, when I first went to a game, I think I was 3 or 4, and I did used to go just to wave at Desmond the Dragon, and because the pies were really nice. But then I actually started getting properly into football because it was like mine and my dad's thing. So
that's going to be Daisy, that, isn't it? Because she's been going since she was 11 weeks old.
I love that.
Go on, Nick, share your story. In the olden days.
I know. That's what my
kids say. Joking.
What was it like in the olden days? To be honest, I can't actually remember my first games. So, I mean, probably my best memories are around 68, 69 is where I really got into it. I think we played some good FA Cup games. I think we played West Ham in 68, and I can remember being at school and through the art lesson, everybody was making sort of banners in hats in the like, because it was a massive game. Around that time, we beat a real good Liverpool side. That's probably one of my early memories, and that was a top Liverpool side in the League Cup. We beat them 2-0. Don Rogers scored both goals, and Bill Shankly was manager then, moaned that Rogers don't do any work. He doesn't need to. He just scored 2 goals against you. And then obviously the 69 League Cup final when we beat Arsenal to win that will forever stick in my memory. My favourite ever team, favourite ever players. And then from then on, it's been like a bloody roller coaster. So we've had bad, we've nearly got out of business. But I mean, I started supporting Swindon really because I was born in Swindon, and when we were really bad, not as though we're not now. My lad started coming when he said, "Why the bloody hell were you born in Swindon? We have to support them." So yeah, that's probably my really earliest memories is late 68, 69.
Love it.
Yeah, I love
Do you know
that.
when you first started going, Nick?
I don't know. It would have been 67 because I actually wasn't into football, and I didn't watch the World Cup final, which irks me to this day. In 66, and why my old man didn't make me sit down and watch it, I don't know. So that really pisses me off that I never actually saw it live.
Do you know what? My mum was meant to go to that, but her cousin was ill.
Right.
She would have been 9 at the time.
Yeah, so I think it's 67 I really started getting into football. And so I'd say I haven't got a clue what my first game was.
Enns has asked as well, Nick, would have loved to see Shanks in action. What was he like in the game?
I don't know. I didn't say. I mean, when in those days it was all standing. In the town end at Swindon, I don't know how many were there, but there are probably 20,000 there, I would guess. Which, considering our capacity now is 14, 15,000, and you were just crammed in like sardines. I mean, as young kids, when we, and I'm sure some have experienced it, when you come out the ground, you could just lift your feet off the floor and just get carried out with the rest of the fans. It was just so packed. And, it's the old story. You start off at the back of the stand, and when you score, you end up at the front because of the surge of the crowd. So it was a totally different experience in those days. Really, really good. And I think certainly in the West Ham game, it was a massive crowd. It could have been even 30-odd thousand there. Wow. And my memory says they brought a lot of the kids out of the stands and sat them in front of the actual barriers basically on the side of the pitch because they were getting crushed. And I don't know whether I imagined it, but I'm pretty sure I was one of them that sort of sat on the side watching the game because there were so many in there. So it was totally different experience watching football then. Big crowds, big atmosphere. Say crowds, back in those days, crowds of 18, 19, 20,000 were common. So because back in the olden days, there wasn't much football on the telly. It was only the FA Cup final. Yeah. And that was it. And now it's just saturated, which is why, say we're getting 9,000 crowds now, like your Stockports are getting 10,000, which is really good crowds nowadays. But, back in the day, it was 18, 19, 20,000 plus because there was nothing else.
It's mad how football has changed.
Yeah.
It's just mental, isn't it? I think Sam as well is ready. I'm hoping it plays this time. I'm really intrigued.
First Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me. Clare watching Stockport County. On the second Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 2 goalie gloves and Clare watching Stockport County. On the third Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves and Clare watching Stockport County. On the fourth Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the fifth Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the sixth Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 6 Clares a laying, 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the 7th Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 7 Clares are swimming, 6 Clares are laying, 5 saucy picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the 8th Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 8 Mackems milking, 7 Clares are swimming, 6 Clares are laying, 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the 9th Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 9 Joshes dancing, 8 Mackems milking, 7 Clares are swimming, 6 Clares are laying, 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the 10th Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 10 Leslie's leaping, 9 Joshes dancing, 8 Mackems milking, 7 Clares are swimming, 6 Clares are laying, 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the 11th Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 11 Charlotte's fighting, 10 Leslie's leaping, 9 Joshes dancing, 8 Mackems milking, 7 Clares are swimming, 6 Clares are laying, 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County. On the 12th Clare of Christmas, the podcast gave to me 12 Clares are plumbing, 11 Charlotte's fighting, 10 Leslie's leaping, 9 Joshes dancing, 8 Mackems milking, 7 Clares are swimming, 6 Clares are laying, 5 saucy Nick picks, 4 Farley birds, 3 French Clares, 2 goalie gloves, and Clare watching Stockport County.
Sam!
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Is Sam coming in?
I hope so. Oh my God, I'm actually crying. That was absolutely brilliant.
Just give us the award now.
I know. That bit
That
needs
is
to be clipped
cracking.
and put on. That is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, God.
He needs to
Sam,
post
bring
that
your
out on
mum
the
out here.
socials.
Who would ever think you sending a picture or you putting a picture on in your raincoat would get us this far?
I couldn't turn away, God damn you. Oh, God, that's funny, that.
Oh, I hope he comes in. Come on, Sam, please.
Oh, my God.
That was
To
absolutely
come up with stuff like that, though.
I know.
What a clever cucumber.
Quality. That was good. That was
Absolutely
funny.
quality. What a wonderful singing voice. I know, them notes.
The only thing I've got an issue with is the fact he says podcast. Podcast.
That's all right, isn't it?
Is back. Guess who's back?
Sam!
Back
It's a
again.
podcast. That was great.
Brilliant,
In the
Sam.
posh singing voice, it has to be podcast in the singing voice.
That was magic, mate. Really,
That was
good.
so
Really
funny.
was.
I'm still crying a bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was absolutely quality.
I've been trying to find 10 minutes to do like the singing all Christmas.
Did you just sing it then?
No. So I recorded it. When I got to the end, the amount of times I topped up on the, it was the Nick pick every time.
Yeah.
I started greasing up.
Got a good body on you, Nick.
I know. I'm glad I sent you those pictures. wonder what you wanted them for.
It was just an email that said Nick's Christmas party, and I thought, well, there we go.
Oh, you're
God.
so funny, Sam.
I
Sam,
wish.
A lot of love in the
you're
chat.
very, very
Yeah.
clever to think of all that, and not just that, the amount of them you've done as well. You must be running out of ideas.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I had a couple of weeks off, so I don't have to bundle them together. But yeah, I need some new ideas for the new season.
Oh man, that
That's
was
good.
absolute
That is
quality,
brilliant.
honestly. Thank you so much for that, Sam.
You're welcome. I'll
Oh,
stick it
man.
on the socials after as well.
Oh,
so, yeah.
definitely do. That has to be our first clip of tonight's podcast, and then it can be us rambling about football. We've all had our rants, haven't we? So we need
We
something
have.
positive for 2024. Oh, funny.
Did I rant? I don't think I ranted.
No, not
No,
really.
I don't think you did, actually.
Just call me little Miss Positive.
It's like Mr. Men, isn't it? We'll have to have our own little Mr. Men and little Miss characters.
Let's see what happens Saturday.
I
Then
know.
we'll decide.
But yeah,
Oh, you're all right,
that's
Claire.
it.
You haven't got a game, have you? So you're fine.
I know. Oh, funny. But yeah, that's it for tonight's show. I mean, what an absolutely brilliant show it's been. Talking football, and then that ending was just
Yeah, it's magic.
that was honestly best ending ever.
Yeah.
But Nick, if
Good way.
anybody
Good
wants
way. Sorry, good way to start 2024. That was
Yeah,
that was
100%.
cracking. That was really great.
100%. If anybody wants to find you, Nick, on the socials, where can they?
Yeah, it's Oakus_road, mainly on Twitter. I say I don't post a great deal, probably react more than anything, and try not to get into stupid comments with people because it's not worth the hassle. So, but yeah, if you want to send me a message, feel free, and I'll gladly have a debate just on how good 2024 is going to be, and we're going to steam up that league, and we'll finish in the playoffs, and we'll have another trip to Wembley. How about that?
Wembley.
Also, where can you find you as well? Because obviously you're on one of my favourite podcasts.
Oh, we're on Fools Rush In.
Love it.
I think we're on tomorrow. So that'll be an interesting one. And then we're on Fridays and Mondays, 9 p.m. So, that's always a good laugh.
Claire, where can everybody find you?
And well, Sam needs to tell you all that.
It's a
But
mystery.
yeah, alternatively, Claire_Jeffs on Twitter. X, whatever you want to call it. I'll forever call it Twitter.
It'll always be Twitter to us.
Oh, thanks, Aled.
Love it. And Sam, you genius. Where can everybody find you?
Oh, okay, right. I don't know. Where am I? I got so confused after that. Up the FM Ducks on X or Twitter or whatever we're calling it, on TikTok and stuff, and then on the Absolute Podcast. So we're back on Monday for the Premier League show. There's no Premier League, so I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we will be back on Monday. So we might have a bit of chat about the FA Cup and what's been going on. So that will be.
Where's Claire?
Where's Claire? We've just switched wings. Inverted wingers. We've gone the other
What
way
happened
around.
then?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
just
know, it's a-
disappeared and came back. You're keeping
was
us
a
on our
flip
toes.
over.
Where's Claire?
That's it. I just want to say as well, well done as well to the guys on the WSL pod yesterday. I thought Rebecca and Chloe fantastic for their first podcast. Amazing. Thanks to everybody for the support that you gave to them as well. And of course, Josh was fantastic as host as always. So that will be back every Wednesday now. So I think Charles, you're doing the next one, and so it should be good next week.
Yeah, I am. Aled has asked as well, is the WSL pod on Spotify yet?
I think it is, yeah, I believe so. Josh did upload the audio last night, so it should be there on Spotify if you want to enjoy it that way.
And if anybody wants to find me, I am most active on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm SharXRAFC. Or you can follow my Her Game 2 stuff. It's Rochdale HGT. Or you can also find me on this Lower League show. I'm not on the Monday podcast. I don't think I'm a Sam next week. A possibility I might be.
We're trying to get someone else in. We'll see. We'll see what's happening on Monday yet.
Or if not, you'll see me 3 times next week. But most importantly is our podcast socials. We have an Absolute Football Podcast, and we are on Threads as Absolute Ball Pod, YouTube and Twitch as Absolute Football Podcast, TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. On Facebook, we have Absolute Football Podcast. As Sam mentioned, we are live on a Monday at 8:30 doing our Premier League and our European League show. On Wednesdays now, we will add it to the graphic soon. We obviously have our WSL show, which I will be presenting this Wednesday. I can't remember who I'm on with at the minute. It is a mystery, but I will be reviewing, what has happened in the WSL so far. And then we have obviously our Lower League podcast on a Thursday where you can find us crazy people. And we are live from 8:30. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to talk Lower League football with you. But thank you so much, everybody, for your support. It's just wonderful how many people come in the chats, talk to us, talk football, but then also after, like, your really nice messages to us. It's just always a pleasure. And yeah, have a lovely weekend, and I hope your football team wins. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, folks. Have a good one.